Live from the hot air balloon capital of the world, this is Balloon Fiesta Live, powered by XTO Energy, a subsidiary of ExxonMobil. It's the Siesta Edition. Live and direct from the home studio near Shreveport, Louisiana, and studios of Public Access Channel 27 in Albuquerque, New Mexico, here are the hosts of Balloon Fiesta Live, Siesta Edition, Glen Moyer and Lloyd Jr.
And good morning and welcome again, everyone, to Balloon Fiesta Live's continuing coverage of Balloon Fiesta Siesta. I'm live here in Louisiana, and on the other side of the monitor and across the state of Texas, socially distanced as we should be, my partner and colleague in crime is Lloyd Jr. Good morning, Art. How are you?
I am well, Glenn, and glad to hear that. Things have been busy here in the studio, 519 Public Access here in Albuquerque. Things have been busy. We have been live on local Channel 4 KOB TV all morning because, as we have talked about for the last couple of days, today, drum roll, today is the day that we're revealing a brand new limited edition. It is take the picture, zoom in on it. Here we go.
Is it?
Yep, it's coming. It's coming.
Wait for it.
Silver pin.
All right.
Right there above next to the splash and the walk, it is the same design as the gold pin that we released 2 weeks ago. It was sold out in 90 minutes. This is a silver version of that pin, and it is now available on balloonfiestastuff.com. balloonfiestastuff.com. There are only 200 of these. They are numbered. So like the gold one sold out in 90 minutes, I suspect that these silver pins will sell out just as fast. Are you going online right now to put your order in?
Did you see me reach for my phone?
I did. I did.
That's not fair. Well, I missed out on the gold one, so I figure I got to jump on this one.
Better jump on the silver one. Yep, it is there.
Yeah.
So we actually revealed it to the KOB viewers just a couple of minutes before we went live here. And now Balloon Fiesta Live viewers, you have the opportunity to pick up that as well. Again, balloonfiestastuff.com. The silver Balloon Fiesta Siesta pin. It is available now online. Get it early because I suspect by the time we're off the air this morning, they will be gone.
Yeah. And, you know, Art, a lot of people are probably asking right now, well, why are we releasing pins when there is no Balloon Fiesta officially happening this year? We have to remind folks that Balloon Fiesta, excuse me, is a nonprofit organization. And, of course, Balloon Fiesta is an income source for the nonprofit, which allows us to do next year's Balloon Fiesta. And with not having that income source, sales of things like this merchandise, like this pin and some of the other merchandise that we have available is very, very critical. So it's a matter of supporting what we're doing so that we can continue to do it in a year when, as we know, because of the pandemic, a lot of businesses are struggling to find income sources. And so this new pin is just one of the ways that we're trying to do that.
You're exactly right. And it's all about putting this back together here, trying to keep some things, in addition to these special edition things, which we hope are generating, well, we know they're generating excitement based on the demand for the Siesta Edition stuff. But there is a lot of 2020 merchandise that was already in production and is already here. And remember, we get 800,000 people a year on the field. And we have another 800,000 or 1 million people watching us on Balloon Fiesta Live. So the reach is huge during an event, and we plan for that with the amount of merchandise that we purchase and make available. Without those 800,000 people on the field, we have that merchandise, and the only outlet and the only way to get it is through the online store. So you're seeing the shot there. We've got a whole collection of 2020 pins. The Balloon Fiesta Live pin is there. By the way, the Balloon Fiesta Live pin from 2019 and from 2020, both on sale for just $5 each. And so you can pick those up. You'll want to make sure that you do those. And then you saw some other things, and we'll talk more about the other merchandise there. And we've got the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta merchandise manager, Lisa Mulder, with us today. So we'll be talking more with her about what all is available along those lines.
And just so you know, you've not tuned into QVC. You are, in fact, watching Balloon Fiesta Live, powered by XTO, a subsidiary of ExxonMobil. But we're trying to do our bit to make sure that we can come back and do this again next year.
That's exactly right. So we are, as you've probably figured out, a live show originating from Keithville, Louisiana with Mr. Glen. I'm here in Albuquerque, and we've got balloon shots and balloons still trying to fly in different places of New Mexico and around the country. Our pre-show, we're putting up those pictures that we're getting from folks around the country, and when we get some live balloons flying around the state, we'll hopefully bring those to you as well. But in the meantime, this would have been the first day of competition. And a Monday, there's no competition out there at the field, but we have some video highlights for you of how that Monday went. So Monday morning always starts with the national anthem and our Rainbow Riders, our ride balloons going off, and some non-competitor balloons. So let's take a look at what it looked like last year on this very same Monday.
All right.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for our national anthem, sung by Kat Podrell. Our balloon of the day, Dave Eichhorn. You'll direct your attention to the stage for our national anthem. Kat Podrell, our national anthem. Dave Eichhorn with Marauders Mark taking the colors airborne, and a number of burners saluting that. That's also the indication that you can start your inflator fans. And did you hear them start up?
Yeah, it's kind of our start your engine, gentlemen, start your engines.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, those poor souls that do have to work, unfortunately.
Hey, there went our Balloon Fiesta live truck across.
I saw that. Photobombing our own video
today. Go. So this would be a great time to talk about a balloon because now we're seeing the yellow. That's the main part of the fabric of the envelope, and the red is the parachute top.
Right.
And we've talked about that a few times. That's what is connected to a rope that goes all the way to the bottom of the balloon. They're going to go and tab that in. Put these little Velcro tabs in. There's one guy on either side. Here comes someone to kind of help do that. And that's just going to hold that top in while they fill it up with cold air.
Right.
Once the balloon stands up, they're going to pull that parachute top down just a little bit, pull all those tabs loose, and the hot air, the air pressure, will push it right back up against those white load tapes and keep it in place.
It reseats it. And you do that to check to make sure that the vent is working prior to getting in the air, because you don't want to get up in the air and realize that for some reason your vent isn't working and you don't have a deflation port.
And we see the referee the stripes.
The stripes.
The
Those are
zebra. They are our launch directors.
They are.
Officially, they are the launch directors. You can't launch from the field here without the approval. A thumbs up is the signal from our launch directors. So they are looking to make sure, one, that you're ready, two, that there is no overhead traffic, that you're clear to launch. You know, if you think about this, putting 500 balloons up in the space of a couple of hours, that's a very busy airport.
It is. It is.
So they're
indeed.
kind of our air traffic controllers.
Yeah. I was going to say that was a great shot there because you could see what was happening at the other end.
Yes.
We're looking again at where you can see that parachute top. To see how it's tabbed in, you can see
You
where
can see it.
It's connected to the envelope every couple of gores, but you can see through. You can see the spacing, and that's because at the moment it's just held in place by those Velcro tabs.
Here we are back to, we were talking about pulling the top out. Now we got to get, or putting the top in, getting enough of the fabric out. You see all the, you see that one tab off just by the gal on the left.
Yep.
So got to find all the bottoms there, because when we pack these up, we kind of just stuff it back in a bag.
Yeah.
Is really what happens.
That's exactly what you do.
Some people are a little more meticulous about how they stuff it.
Well, I was talking, you and I were talking last night, and one of the things I did, congratulations, by the way, to my very dear friend from long, long ago in ballooning, Dr. Coy Foster we were talking with him, or I was discussing him just the other day with some friends, and one of the things that an innovation that he taught me was I had a small line attached from the top of the parachute to the crown ring. The crown ring is where all the load tapes come up at the top of the balloon, and they're connected to this round metal ring. The parachute top is fabric that fits underneath those load tapes and fills that hole. Well, I had a little line, a little piece of clothesline that attached from the metal ring down to the top of the center of the fabric of parachute.
Right.
So at the end of each flight, as we packed the balloon up, so that we didn't have to go inside the balloon hunting for the parachute, we always use that line to pull the parachute back up to the top and basically back up into that hole as we packed the balloon up. So it was always there, because sometimes if you don't do that, you can see in this shot here, you would have to go inside the balloon, and the parachute would be somewhere down about the middle from where it was when you pulled it down to deflate.
Kind of all piled up where we see that white fabric,
right.
which is, it would be mixed in.
It would be mixed in with the rest of the balloon. And if your parachute, in my case, in my first balloon, my parachute top was a Texas flag, where the rest of the balloon was primarily yellow, so it was pretty easy to find.
Right.
But you look at this balloon where the parachute is essentially the same color as the balloon.
Yes.
When you pull it down into the balloon and deflate, if you don't reposition it while you're packing up, then when you go to inflate, you got to go in there and find it and get it into position. There goes Sean Askren in the Intel balloon. Sean, just a few moments ago, talking with our Ruth Lynn.
You may have noticed the banner on the side of the basket as Intel went out of here with the number 304 on the side. So you'll hear us, especially later this morning, about competition calling those banner numbers out. That's one of the probably easier ways, if you can see the banner, to identify the pilot, and that's how they'll be marking their scores down, by banner 304, whatever banner is on the side. If the banner number is less than 300, they are a competitor. So banner numbers 300 and up, they're the fun flyers, 304 with Intel. And if you have a banner number of 1 to 20, so 001 up to 20, that means that is the place you finished in last year here at Balloon Fiesta.
So we're about ready to launch, and that means our launch directors are about to go into operation. Those folks down there in the zebra suits we were talking about earlier, and Ruth Lynn has one of them with her. Ruth.
I do. I'm so lucky today to be talking to Emily Pine. She's a zebra here down on 11. And Emily, tell us what a zebra does exactly.
We have one job out here. It's to have a safe, coordinated launch and to keep all the balloonists and spectators safe.
How long have you been doing this work?
This is my 14th year.
Wow, good for you. What kind of training do new zebras get?
They have to go through several classroom trainings that last a few hours, and then they spend 1 year as a zebra in training, where they have another zebra walking around with them, and then on their 3rd year they're given their own row.
That's awesome. And before we go, I want our cameraman to show your outfit. These zebra costumes are phenomenal. Tom, let's see how Emily looks.
Thanks to our zebras. All volunteers, our zebras are.
And many of them are pilots who give up the opportunity to fly here at Balloon Fiesta in order to serve the other pilots that come from around the world for the event. So it's nice to see them. Boy, the heat
Good
from that
morning.
burner would probably feel nice right about now. It's a little far away from us.
That is
I think that's our XTO balloon.
That is the XTO, and we will be having one of our camera guys, Travis, will be flying with our balloon cam. So we're already getting the pictures of the balloon going hot, as we say. And actually, yeah, you can almost see the top, how it's still kind of tabbed in there.
In the air, look at that. There's a shot of several of the Longleat fleet there. Look at that Panther. I love that. Who would have thought that an all-black balloon could be so cool? But, I mean, those eyes, I mean, oh, that's just ominous. Here's a look from inside the envelope. Not sure I'd want to stay there very long.
You know the drill.
Yeah, looking in from the top there, back towards the basket. Yeah, you don't want to be there when they start putting hot air in the basket.
Well, you know,
the envelope.
A little bit of history of the sport. Back in the day, before we had inflator fans, you used to have to just flap a little bit of air in there, and then somebody would go inside the balloon, usually with maybe like a big broomstick, and hold the balloon, the envelope up while the pilot did get in and start heating the air, because the hot air started to mix. Almost with a weed burner sometimes, where they could kind of point it out. Well, you could go in with a weed burner too, but some of the guys went in and just held the fabric up while the pilot lit the main burner.
There you are, close and personal with the burner and our XTO balloon.
Yep. There goes our XTO energy balloon. Again, we are powered here.
There's our balloon cam, as we can see what it
now
looks like to take off
there's
from
Cynthia
the field.
Seal we were talking about a moment ago. You can see it just in the screen there.
The blue one with the rainbow colors around there, that's Honeydew, Bill Walker. And if we see the top of the balloon, there's a smiley face, which we usually only see when the balloon's laying down, but now we're going to see it from the sky. The row of balloons behind that. These are our guys that are going to fly. Right behind that was our Rainbow Riders balloon.
And if they stay with that shot, you're about to see us, because they're going to come right over the top of our rooftop studio here.
So there you are, our balloon cam.
That is what it looks like from up in the air above Balloon Fiesta Park this morning.
Do we have to wave to the balloon camera guys?
Well, maybe if they if they go back to the balloon shot. There we are.
There we are. Yep. There's our table. All righty, good shot.
Good shot of the roof. There we are on the rooftop studio.
So now you see where we are and how close we are to the field. There's our view, although we're obviously lower than the balloon. There's a great aerial shot looking down on Tall Steve.
There's Tall Steve, and that's Puddles, the male of his parents. Look at that shot.
Oh, wow, yeah. Right in the middle of it. You can't get your helicopters that close.
You can't.
Even though you could get a room up to a week beforehand.
Your options were
limited.
The
options were very limited. Yeah. So, yeah, definitely book farther out than later. So make those plans to be here. I would be making those plans not only for next year, for number 49, but I'd be looking ahead to 50. Mentioned this balloon a few minutes ago, the blue one with the rainbow colors. There's a turning vent right there on the side going around the left-hand side.
There's a hole in the balloon.
Looks in the side. The air comes out the side, and that allows the balloon to rotate. That's the one I mentioned that, while we can't see it from this angle, the top has a smiley face in that parachute top. That's Honeydew, Bill Walker on the board of directors.
Yep. Look at that shot, Art. Tall Steve up over the crowd, up over Balloon Fiesta Park. Andrew's getting his share of camera time this morning.
It was Dave Coing waving and hollering at us. His balloon right above. He's directly up above us. You can't see it on the screen.
Literally right on top of us.
And I always love that shot. Of course, I don't have my camera right. And there's a shot from the balloon cam, our XTO balloon cam. Looking down on one of the Rainbow Rider balloons, a lot of people getting their bucket list check marked.
Or their basket list check marked.
Whatever it is. And actually our balloon camera balloon, our XTO balloon, is coming back over the field as well, up at that higher altitude.
Well, there's the shot right there. Look
there's
at that.
The shot looking back. So look at how many balloons we have still ready to launch before we open up the field for competition.
This is just the group that are not flying competition. This is
not
the
whole
first
field. Half.
This is just part.
There's a Rainbow Riders balloon on the screen. There's what
basket full of folks.
A basket full of folks.
Full basket on those Rainbow Rider ride balloons there every time.
Absolutely. You caught me coming back to camera as I was looking at comments on our Facebook page. And
I thought you were still ordering pins.
No, I got that already done. No, I was checking.
You and a lot of other people, by the way.
Absolutely. I was looking at who's up and watching us already early this morning, and Lisa Kipner at Lindstrand Balloons has tuned in. Greg Yost, son of course, Ed Yost, the inventor of the Modern Hot Air Balloon checked in with us, as well as some other balloonists. But I was surprised to see my friend Natalie Rowan from London is watching, along with Peter George. Some folks from the UK are tuning in. So, and we've seen people saying hello from Germany and the Netherlands this morning. So again, we have an international audience today. So hello to all of you, and thanks for tuning in.
So that means we have to start saying good afternoon again, right?
I guess it does, yeah, because it is actually afternoon over there. They get to watch this during their lunch hour, which I've always thought was another reason why I should be moving overseas.
So on the screen right now, we're getting some live pictures. We've got balloons in a couple of locations around Albuquerque. So the stuff you were watching was 2019. This is live. There is no organized event of balloons out flying, but the balloonists being balloonists and always being in the mode of flying when it's good. This is from Fiesta Field. So
okay,
there are some balloons that are there. There are no spectators allowed there. There they are waving at us.
The question
that's
I
Dave
have,
Eichhorn.
Art, is, the question I have is, what is that? We know where it is. What is it?
I'm not sure. It sure looked like the pilot was Dave Eichhorn.
Well, I meant the balloon, though.
I
It's
know.
obviously
It's a
new
one-eyed
special shape.
something.
Something, yeah. Who knows?
Yeah,
I thought for a minute it was a SpongeBob, but it's not a SpongeBob. So, yeah, no idea, no clue what that is.
We'll get RJ, our camera guy, out there to go over and ask Dave what kind of shape he's got there. I think we have pictures from the west side of town as well. He's going to go ask him maybe. I think we have some pictures from west side. If we don't, we'll have them as well. And of course, coming up just in a few minutes, since this is a competition day, we're going to be able to bring you video of competition from last year. And if you remember, I was allowed into the competition area with a camera. And so we have some really great footage from the competition. It's the Sid Cutter Memorial. We'll talk all about that. But, you know, a few minutes ago, we revealed a brand new Balloon Fiesta Silver Edition pin. Yep. Only 200 of them. They are going fast. Our merchandise manager, Lisa Mulder, is with us this morning. Lisa, sales going well on the pin?
I don't know if they're going to be on there much longer. I think they're just flying out of there quickly.
So we just saw them. Yeah, last I looked, there was probably about 50 left. We should mention that not only is there only 200 pins and in a limited edition, we're limiting how many of them an individual can get.
That's correct. It's actually only one per person. So those of you who think you're a little tricky and have ordered multiple times, those orders will be canceled. So just a heads up.
So nobody's going to be able to stockpile and put them on eBay later for twice the price.
Exactly. This is more of a let's help Balloon Fiesta out. Let's ensure that we're going to be there next year and let everybody have a little special piece of Balloon Fiesta.
Yeah. Lisa, I know you must have a plethora of people come to you with ideas for official Fiesta merchandise. How do you sort through all of these various proposals and people who want to be there and decide what it is that we're going to offer?
We actually get, like you said, a lot of people that come to us, and we just kind of put them all into one folder and just slowly start working with them. A lot of times they're just not financially feasible for us, but those that work and we can get good deals on, then that's where we start first.
Okay.
Well, now you caught me checking our feed online here. We have a New Mexican in Germany who's checking in, and they're still waiting for the sun to hit the ground on the east side of town, because we've talked about this and you've heard it in some of our videos. When we get started at sunrise, the sun, because it's behind the Sandia Mountains, hasn't actually hit the field yet.
That's right.
So they're still waiting for that to happen, because sunrise today, I think it's about 7:05 or 7:06, so it's just happened. So the sun still hasn't crossed over the top of there so far. But back to Lisa here. Besides the Fiesta Siesta merchandise that we've had on, what's kind of like the next most popular item that we have in the store this year?
We actually have a lot of great keychains and magnets that we've done this year. Those are always wonderful take-home pieces, and they're very inexpensive and actually on sale 50% off this week, which would have been Balloon Fiesta week.
And speaking of sales, we're also doing this thing called Merchandise Monday. And it actually happens to be a Monday, but we're doing it every single day of the week during Balloon Fiesta week. And you mentioned keychains and magnets. Today's special is the ornament.
Correct. We have a beautiful ornament that is actually our Time Flies logo. It's custom made 3D, and that is on sale today for our Merch Monday live daily deal.
And we should probably mention that for Balloon Fiesta Live viewers, we have a special coupon code. That coupon code being BF Live. BF Live, once you have the stuff in your cart, which means you've registered on the site, go ahead and apply the coupon BF Live. It's going to get you 10% off most of the stuff in your cart. The stuff that's already on sale and the Siesta merchandise doesn't count. We've had some people say the code's not working. Well, you're trying to use it on products that it's not eligible for. So BF Live, a special code just for our Balloon Fiesta Live viewers. And again, the website, balloonfiestastuff.com. So, Glenn, should we move on to some competition flights?
Let's do it. I want to see the boat out on the field, which of course is part of the Sid Cutter Memorial Task that we fly on Monday morning. So yeah, let's go see some markers being thrown.
All right.
Imagine all those competitors now who 90 minutes ago made a decision to go somewhere and say, I think I want to be here.
Right, and now they're going,
oh, yeah, because, well, and probably
maybe.
they've done that every 30 minutes since, because about every 30 minutes we've been able to look up and say, oh, now you're going to go this direction, and now you're going to go this direction, and as you pointed out, it's adjusted or changed yet again. This is one of those light and variable days that actually gives us some good steerage. It just doesn't stay there very long.
Okay.
So on Facebook, they were asking about the amount, how do we steer these balloons? What can happen with that?
With the steering wheel, of course.
Anyway, the balloon is a particle in the wind. So our steerage is literally up and down. We make the balloon go higher, we let it cool off and come lower, or we vent and it comes down. We put the balloon at the altitude that of the wind is the direction we want to go. And there's times when the wind doesn't go the direction we want to go, and so we have to find another direction and use the directions that are there by changing our altitude to find a nice, safe landing space.
We can only move with whatever the wind allows us, and on some days like today, you can steer just about any direction you want. Other days, there may not be more than about 10 or 15 degrees of steerage available, no matter how high or low you go. The wind is blowing basically in one direction, and no matter how much you may want to go to the left or to the right, if there is not a current of wind moving in that direction, you can't get there. So.
Average time balloons stay in the air depends on the weight you're carrying, the temperature, the amount of fuel that you have available, but I think we usually say an hour flight, 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah. Depends on the flying area too. I know
all of that. Well, yeah, where can I land? Sometimes you take a flight and you're down in 10 minutes because that's where that's the end of the landing site.
And as we say, pretty wide open spaces. That's why a lot of the pilots were headed out to the west this morning, because as Art rightfully said, once you get on the western side of the river, then the geographically the area opens up quite a bit, and you can see just wide open space, and so it should be a nice easy touchdown. And just another inch or two, and they'll be on the ground in our XTO balloon. Hold on, hold on. Yep, a little bit of bounce. There they are, touchdown. Little forward movement. not too bad, though. Nicely done, nicely done. A little bit of wind, and that's why when they came in and touched down, it wasn't a stand-up landing, but the wind pushing the balloon over, which is, again, that's common. A common way of landing balloons. Some people see that for the first time and go, oh my gosh, they crashed. Well, no, they didn't. They just had a lay-down landing.
So I'm standing kind of between the boat and what would be the island. So there is a history behind this. So the idea is that the competition was with Sid. You had to come in and you had to drop your marker on a boat that was out in the middle of a lake. So obviously if your marker went into the lake, they couldn't retrieve it, therefore they couldn't score it. So what we have a boat here in the desert, and the best scoring position is right on the bow of that boat. And the boat is basically right off my shoulder over here. We'll get closer as we get through the day, and we're going to watch for that. So there is actually an X that's off the bow of the boat. That's kind of the 0 point, except that the bow is really 0. So even the best score is actually about 13 feet or so. Now, what we've also done, because if you dropped your marker on land, we've created an island out here as well, and I think we can swing around to my right here. There is a nice big white area, and so that is the island, and if you land your marker in there, you will get points as well. Anywhere else in the grass typically has been no score because that was considered the water. Now, because this is the first day of competition and it's a cumulative score over the 4 days of competition, we really wanted everybody to start off the week with some good scores. So we've adjusted the scoring on this Sid Cutter Memorial a little bit this year so that even if you're outside the island or off the boat here, we're going to score your marker. What will happen, though, is there will be a 300-foot additional distance added on. So if you're just offside the boat, you'll be that, whatever that footage is, plus 300 feet. Oh. So we're going to have a whole lot of scores in this area. Yeah, so people get scores even when they're not in here. It's just that plus 300 feet on the end there. So again, they're looking at the boat. Here comes Kathy's Hope in, going to be way off to the west of the boat target. But I think we've, yeah, so they're going to be off on the west end side of the marker out here. We'll be able to see that there is actually a couple of little island pieces a little farther out as well. Fabric being the key inside that other space, but the best score right on the boat itself. So this is banner number 103, this black with the yellow and blue. Dropped his marker off the center of the, I have to get closer to, so he's off the leg of one of those extra little island pieces. Actually, those are the islands out there. This is the land behind us. So we have our first score, if you will. Yeah, we're going to wander in a little closer here. The other thing you'll see about these racers is the fact is that they are usually flying solo in the balloon. Gives them less weight and more maneuverability, able to put more heat in the top. Again, they can come right down to the ground without touching the ground, without getting any kind of penalty. So getting the marker in his hand.
Looks like he has a very good line.
205. He does.
I'm watching through our Canon binoculars.
Daniel Liberti coming right over the top,
ready to
leaning
drop.
over. And there's the throw, just over the edge.
Oh no.
One of those momentum throws that we. And then 206, the more round one with the teal, the pink, and the yellow. He's just kind of skimming along. So we've had a few throws. I see a couple in on the land, well, maybe 3 or 4 out on that big land spot, which is south of the boat. There's another one, just came from that banner number 193. He's the one that hit the ground there. So while that'll be a score, there'll probably be some sort of penalty with that as well. See, he needs to drop right now if he was going to hit the boat. He's just gone over the boat. Good morning, Dr. Bill. He's got his marker out. He's going to attempt for the land area, which is just to the south of us. That's a big area you can hit. And that's one of those take the safe score versus the not so safe score.
Don't get greedy, we sometimes
say. So Johnny's
say.
Now, yeah, exactly. Here comes Brad Rice in the pink with the blue, pink hearts and the white around it. Brad Rice. He's going to be too far to the west as well. Right behind him, Blair Kaufman in the red, white, and blue, flying the banner for CNM.
I always
the local community college.
Hearts of Fire.
So Brad's dropping on the island. Yeah, nice drop by Brad in Hearts of Fire. I'm going to interrupt here. Blair is, with the red, white, and blue has got a great line coming in on the boat here. He's going to drift right over the bow. Now it comes down to the throw. There's the drop.
We're watching it.
He's in the boat.
All right.
He's in the boat.
So that's our best score so far, right?
That's the best score so far. That's correct. That's the best score so far. Blair Kaufman, formerly from Albuquerque, now from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Okay, so Moyer's going to make the nice a nice pass here. He's winding up. He's going to go right over the top of the boat. It's out.
There he is.
It's in the boat.
He's in the boat. All right. We did get to see the drop on
Banner
camera.
number 1.
Moyer is the 2-time defending champion. He's going for a three-peat here this week, and he's off to a great start, that's for sure.
Moyer's drop is about 3 feet from the bow.
Wow.
Here comes G Daddy. He's going to have a great line onto this as well.
And that is Thomas Hora from Germany flying G Daddy.
Yep. So he's going to come right over the boat as well. He's got his purple marker out, photographer in hand. There's Tomas. There's the throw. He's in the center of the boat as well.
Outstanding. So that's at least 3 in the boat so far this morning. Sorry, Ken Drawn is a little wide of the target. Ken flying his
This is
balloon.
Jason Buckner here. The line wasn't quite right, so he's gonna go up. I'm not sure he's gonna drop here. Paul Petrin and Philip 66. Up. Jason's gonna try and wind that up and throw it back. It's gonna come right down on top of us. Great drop. Good morning. Waving at us here. He had a nice drop on the, I think it was a good drop out there on one of our islands. Now a whole series of balloons that seem that they're going to end up on the west side of the boat. I see our saguaro cactus just passing on there on the far side. Humpty Dumpty's going to be over on the west side of the field with Rich Lawhorn.
Yeah, and down below him is Dale Wong from Rancho
Dale
Cucamonga.
Wong, yep.
The green balloon with the yellow, blue, purple, pink, and vertical accents there.
I think this little drift to the southeast is being missed by many of our pilots. It's a pretty narrow layer of wind direction that takes you that way. And so most of them are still in that north to south flow and missing this little left hook.
If you look directly
north,
north,
it looks like Dale just got it. Dale just got the hook there, but it's going to be too late to get here to the. Meg may have gotten it too early.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like she's going to get pushed off to the east before she can get to the target, unfortunately.
Yep. Yeah, I think she caught that direction a little bit too soon, although watching the other racer that's coming in that I haven't caught who it is yet, blue, it's got a lot of black checkerboards on it. Depending on what angle you're looking at it, it's blue or yellow or orange or green or red. I'm seeing the blue and yellow side. He's going to drift right down. This is interesting because Meg and him are probably within about the same altitude, within a couple of feet. Meg is drifting to the southeast, while the other one is drifting south with even a hint to the west. He's going to reach out and throw on the island. Nice throw on the island over there. Meg's going to throw on the east island. Still is. And we got a multicolor blue drop, multi-blue color shades dropping in. Interesting, the tactics. Do you kind of come in and slide in, or do you fly high and drop in?
Well, and I haven't seen many of the pilots.
I think we need basket banners on 2 sides.
I think so. I haven't seen many pilots boxing. Those who've missed the target really trying to box back, go up and box back. A lot of them are coming on down here and landing.
The box to get back north is so high and so slow.
Yeah.
You'd have to have a whole lot of patience to make that happen. It's really just a south. It's really just kind of a straight south there.
Okay, because it looks like he
just
had
reach up. Yeah, there, just dropped it right into the island there.
Okay, because it looked like he was moving a little more to my left.
It's one of those things that this direction to the southeast is so shallow out here that, boy, it's real easy to miss it or not be in it. It's almost like it's even, you have to be on the east side of the road to go east. If you're on the west side of the road, it goes west.
It goes
it's
west,
like there's a funnel that's splitting you. In fact, that's exactly what's happening. So you got a nice throw on the island while over here on the east side of the field. Yeah, it's like there's a wall going down the road, and with the other side of the road you're on, you're going to go that direction. They're splitting apart. So he's going to be able to have a nice drop on the island out there. In fact, that looks like his game plan. He's got marker in hand. down about 4 feet off the ground. Is he going to drop on there? Yep, goes for the corner. Because remember, even these islands are measured from the center of the X. So the closest in part of that island is what you want to hit there. And while there's a kind of a lull or a little space between some balloons in here, we take our camera here from Tom here. Our scorers are actually out here starting to measure those that drop just outside the boat. And we'll see if we can get a picture inside the boat right after that. So they measure to the weighted part of the baggie, because there's a weight, there's I think it's like 3.5 ounces or 4 ounces of something inside of that. And so they're measuring to the closest part of that from the center of that X. How you doing? Good. A 2-person team on each one of those so they can verify that score. And Tom, can we see inside the boat? So there's the markers. Once Tom comes up, there will be the markers inside the boat. They haven't measured those, but of course it's still off to the center of the X inside the boat. So these outside will have that distance plus 300 feet at it. Banner number 62, that's Craig. Yeah, that's Craig Pendleton. Hi, Craig. There we go. He's going to be west of the boat. He's going to go for the land. That's Scott Alsop in Phoenix, and that's the yellow one with the orange darts that we saw. So the two of them split the boat, but they're both going to be close enough to hit that land mass just south of us.
Okay. It's interesting because those two look like they're almost converging on each other from opposite sides of the road.
They are now.
While Kelly Keller is drifting.
They absolutely are.
Actually crossing in front of each other now.
He is. There's a touch.
Yep.
There's a touch. I can tell by the.
Yeah, you can see that.
I can tell by the
yellow one rolling off the red, white, and blue
of the balloons as we did that. So.
Yeah.
You know, they both fly them in Colorado Springs. There's a quick landing on the north end.
Yeah, just looking at that, there's a solid impact.
But they...
And a little bit of ding-dong going on now.
Well, that's what happens when you hit. The weight comes off, so the envelope goes back up, but of course the basket has stopped moving. So they're doing the right thing there. They actually have pulled the top out of the balloon, so now it's going to deflate. It's not going to bounce again. So when you have one of those quick ones, the idea is to go ahead and get the top out, which is exactly what he did. They're folding up the leg of the X right here. And so folding up the leg here is another symbol that says we have closed the target.
That's right.
So the target is closed. So we have hit the 9:30 mark. So I'm not sure we're going to send smoke off, but at least the very visual one, you can always count on the leg of the X being rolled up. And so as you come in, you see it's not really an X anymore. It becomes a V or a T, depending on how many legs they roll up. And so that closes our competition for today.
Exciting competition.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And unfortunately, that video doesn't really capture all the excitement of it. Because we collapse so many hours into just a few minutes, but you get to see some of the highlights. You know, I was struck, Art, by your conversation as you were down in the target area, and that was tremendously fun because normally you and I are up on the rooftop studio, and our view of what's going on is quite distant and sometimes difficult to see, and so it was not only fun for me as a viewer to be able to have you down there and close to the action, but having our cameras in there showing it to the folks watching the feed, getting a view that even you can't get on the field because you're not allowed to get that close. But what I wanted to comment on was you were talking about how the road was acting as a funnel and splitting the balloons left and right as they were coming into the winds. We didn't think of it at the time, but it occurred to me watching. The road is blacktop, and on either side of it is grass. I wonder if there might have been a little thermal activity happening right there that was causing that, because we know that asphalt blacktop will heat up quicker in the morning as the sun hits it than grass will. So maybe there was a temperature difference there that was part of the cause for that.
You know, I still hadn't thought of that, but as you said it, all of a sudden it makes perfect sense. You know, so yeah, that is probably exactly what happened there. Amazing how when you go back and watch the video here, you have that opportunity to reanalyze what was going on.
Yeah.
But you're right, that was exactly what was happening. Here was the road. As you came down it, they just split apart down the road.
It actually was
there.
working like a wall. It was a temperature wall there, and the temperature difference was splitting you. You were hitting it and sort of bouncing off depending on which side of the road you were coming in.
So, you know, partway into that, one of the first balloons that came over the target was Blair Kaufman and his Stars and Stripes balloon. And he was the first one to drop the marker in the boat. And Blair actually is joining us now live via Zoom from, are you in Arkansas or are you back home in Oklahoma now?
Good morning, Art. Yes, I'm back. We had a nice weekend in Arkansas, and we're back, and unfortunately can't be at Fiesta this year. We'd all love to be there, but it's just not working out this year.
Well, hey, it's good to have you online here. So tell us, what was it like coming in on the field here? You just got to, we all just got to see that again from our perspective here. What was it like coming into the field, coming in on the boat?
Well, of course, you take off and fly towards the north end of Balloon Fiesta Field. And I think, as Glen said, there are those little nuances that come along in a flight that you think you can use. There are things that all of a sudden present themselves, and you find yourself in the right zone, in the spot. And in my case, for that particular time, there was another balloon ahead of me, and he came down in front of me, and as he did, I touched his balloon, and it was just enough to put me in the direction of the target. So you never know exactly what the effect is going to be of, like Glen said, the heating of the asphalt, the cooling maybe of the grass, and so you've got to play it inch by inch up and down to adjust to get to where you want to be.
So, Blair, we do have some video that you actually took or had a passenger take during that flight here. So I'm going to see if we can't roll that now, and I'm thinking that you can kind of talk us through this because I think you can see that when we roll the video.
Right,
here.
Will do.
Oh, it's the Blair roll-in as we produce from here. We'll let them find it while we talk about it. So, one of the things that we mentioned at the beginning of that clip, Blair, was the whole idea of picking the right launch site. How important is that to be able to get back to the field?
Well, Ken, I have
here's the video.
Here's the video. Do you want me to talk about the video?
Yeah, let's talk about that. So
the other balloon is in front of me, and about that moment we touched. And as we touched, he moved off to the west a bit, and I came right down, and it wasn't much. It was just very little. That is what it took to get me pushed in that direction. Now, in addition to that, as you've talked about, the other problem is that there is the heating and cooling. So you just got to adjust very slightly. And, you know, a bit of it is luck, but, you know, we moved it right in there and got to the boat. It was an exciting moment, and I'm so pleased that we could get it on video.
So there's the X that we talked about, and there's the boat. Actually, there I am with Tom, my cameraman, just off to the left. And there is the drop right into the boat from the balloon perspective. How hard is it to keep flying the balloon at this point?
After that, I had to land right at the north end of the field immediately. I was not going to fly on that particular morning.
Blair, this is Glen. First of all, how are the cats?
How are the what?
How are the cats?
Oh, yeah, it was good. It was very good.
Yeah, no, I was asking about your
kitty cats.
The kitty cats.
Oh, my cats. Yeah. Oh, they're fine.
Yeah.
We actually had to have a cat sitter over the weekend.
Okay.
And yeah, our cats are doing well. They're getting fat and lazy.
The reason I ask that, folks, for you know, is Blair.
How are yours?
Mine are fine. We have a pool going on, and the Wind Ranger's going to pop into my lap and show up here on Balloon Fiesta Live. Just a bit of quick background. We're getting off on a tangent here, but Art asked all the ballooning questions. Blair and his wife and I were at an event up in, I think it was Oklahoma. And
Shawnee. We were at Shawnee, Oklahoma.
Shawnee, that's right. And we got to talking about our cats, and they clued me into these pet cameras that I was able to go out and get the very next day as soon as I got back home, because I was about to leave on my annual trip over to Scotland and had to leave my cat at home. And so that's my connection to Blair is pet cameras and cats. But to get back to a little bit of ballooning, you talked about how you weren't going to fly on that morning, and I remember the day that I won a key grab down in Louisiana flying an event, and I was the same way. You get such an adrenaline rush when you've scored on a target like that. But what's it like the moments, as we were seeing on the video, you're getting there and you think, I got it. Your heartbeat has to get faster.
The issue beyond that, Glenn, as you know, Glenn, is you still need to fly the balloon.
That's right.
You still need to fly. And you can't get overexcited and not take care of business as the pilot. And so the thrill, I think, and the excitement is there, but you've got to turn your attention to the flying immediately following that. So it goes quick, and you can celebrate afterward, but then you got to do the job beyond that.
Well, give the kitty cats a snuggle for me, if you will.
I'd like to roll that video again, because there's a number of other things that kind of goes by so quick. So, Steve, if we can roll that again. And I was just going to point out some things, Blair, and you can jump in on this as well. So that's Hearts of Fire with Brad Rice right in front of you that we see.
It is, and we spoke about it later, and he said, well, that's the way it works in competition. We knew. And
the little kind of white spots, things that we see there, those are those islands that we talked about, people being able to drop on.
Right.
And we see Brad actually drop here in a moment.
And I'll tell you, Art.
Yeah.
There was a moment when I thought about the island and going too early and using my marker on the island. And then I went up, no, we'll get closer. Then I looked at the X and I thought, we'll just go for the X. And then I knew after that, we were in the right spot.
Yeah, the center of the X doesn't get you the best score.
Right.
Of course, the bow does. They measure from the center of the X. So yeah, and this is just great. The line up here, and then as Glenn has mentioned, you can't really get on the field. There's a handful of officials and other folks and us there to be able to see this, and the scoring team is down there. But the regular spectators are a little ways away from that. And then that area right there we've talked about is the land area. That was another safe scoring area to be able to put in there as well.
Right. So yeah, those are the things that I was concerned about as I came in, is looking at all the options that I had, and you know that opening in the bottom of the boat becomes very small at that point, and you can adjust a little bit and you'll be off the boat. And so it worked out though.
Well, we saw Chris Liberty come in and drop on the boat early on in our competition video, and he waited too long to actually release the marker and ended up on the outside the boat here. That's another, how do you judge that? How do you judge that throw? When do you let go? Because the marker doesn't fall straight down.
Right. No, I was concerned about the wind and leading the throw just enough to make certain that it got in there. And of course, being low, you've got to get down as close as you can without making any ground contact. So that was the other issue.
Well, good job, and thanks for getting us that in-basket video to share with our Balloon Fiesta Live viewers here.
Sure.
We'll let you go back to sleep now after your long weekend.
Right. Thank you so much, Art and Glenn, and keep up the good work. And I miss everybody in Albuquerque and everybody that we've flown with all this week. And I just hope everything goes well the rest of the week, even though we can't fly with a regular Fiesta activities.
All right.
So thank you.
Thanks, Blair.
Thanks,
great
Blair.
day.
Our best to Ann as well. So
Yeah. And to the cats.
And the cats,
And
right?
the cats,
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Hope to see you both again real soon. You know,
Right.
it's interesting to see Blair talking about where he had that momentary touch with Hearts of Fire. Years ago at a national championship, I can remember coming to a target, if I can do a quick war story, and I was flying a 90, which, as you know, Art, is a larger balloon for competition.
Right.
And I was up high and trying to, as we've described, coming down to the target. Below me was a little red balloon that was tracking parallel to the target. And I didn't know it until I came down, but I came down and hit him just like a cue ball and bounced him straight to the target. And the pilot turned around and waved and said, "Thank you, Glenn." And it turned out it was our late friend David Levin, world champion many times, national champion. And I literally bumped him just like a cue ball shot and sent him right over the target. And the momentum that I lost as I was coming down to the target and transferred to his balloon, put him to the target, and I went down the side of it out wide. So sometimes you're the lucky one who goes to the target. Sometimes you're the guy who goes and bounces away from the target.
Did David share the prize with you?
No, of course he didn't.
My story of that, the one time that I was coming in on key grab, it was key grab, so the big pole there, and I'm lined up perfectly, kind of like Blair was on the boat here. I'm lined up perfectly, but here's this other balloon flying alongside of me, and he's kind of just, and for whatever reason, just enough difference that we're kind of converging. Just before the pole, we converged and we just kind of bounced apart, and we both went around the pole. Neither of us got it.
Well, and the other element that's in all of that Blair didn't really touch on because it didn't apply in his case is altitude. Because another time at Albuquerque, I was coming in somewhat high to the target, and there was a balloon that crossed as we got into the scoring area, the flagged off area. Another balloon crossed below me, and we were traveling at about the same speed. And so I'm flying along, and all I can see is the top of his balloon below me.
Oh, wow.
And that's it. And I'm waiting and waiting for him to clear so that I can drop my marker. And I heard him, I knew that he had dropped because I heard a huge roar from the crowd. Just as he finally cleared under me, I threw my marker because we were coming to the edge of the scoring zone. And I watched it fall and fall and fall. And the wind, you were talking about leading your throw.
Yeah.
The wind caught it, and it went right underneath the flagging and fell about a foot outside of the scoring zone. But I was helpless because if I had thrown earlier, it would have been on top of his balloon, and that would not have scored either. So there's always, as Blair was saying, there's all these little nuances that come into play as you're getting to the target, and sometimes even after you're there.
Yep, all kinds of fun things with competition. We've got more coming up tomorrow, and then, of course, towards Thursday and Friday, we get into what used to be key grab, now is the ring toss or the pole ring or ring toss, I guess.
Chimney or
yeah, whatever we've done. We've got those coming up. These are live pictures from Balloon Fiesta Park. So there are a number of balloons. There's that one we saw earlier.
Yeah, we still don't know what it is, but there it is.
Looks like a one-eyed SpongeBob.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, and here's an inflation of this nice red, white, and blue one standing up. So
Cyclops SpongeBob, that's weird.
That's what it would be. So again, we've been watching highlights from 2019. This is live this morning from Balloon Fiesta Park. No spectators allowed, a limited number of balloons. I've seen like maybe 3 or 4 out there. I think we had as many as 20 over the weekend out there. Part of the Lifting Spirits organization and operation that has been taking place. Balloonists all around the world still putting their balloons up this Balloon Fiesta week in order to recognize and thank those essential workers, those first responders, and those types of folks. Now this live picture, Glenn, is from the west side of Albuquerque.
I recognize the mesa.
Yep, the brown dirt versus the green grass.
Right, yes.
Our good friend Ted Mays, who's been kind enough to send us lots of video throughout the week and flew our XTO balloon last year for us a few days. He's sending us these live pictures, and he appears to be just west of Unser Boulevard. There is a brand new elementary school out there, kind of the area that all of us locals tend to fly anyway. So there's a number of balloons out there that we're being able to see. and even the shadow of Ted. So he's not very high off the ground, but that's okay because there's no houses right there.
Well, and one thing we should mention, of course, is this would normally be Balloon Fiesta week when there would be hundreds of balloons from all around the country, indeed all around the world in Albuquerque. But Albuquerque is not just a city that balloonists go to for a couple of weeks each year and then disappear from. There is a local community of a couple of hundred balloonists that live there. So on any given day when the weather is good, you'll see balloons flying, especially out in that area as you're talking about over the West Mesa. So it's not unusual to have balloons up, but it is nice to have them up and flying so that we can show them to you live as a part of Balloon Fiesta week.
Yeah, there are like 200 balloons that actually live here, pilots with the balloons. So there's a number of them that actually live here. And yeah, any weekend we can have 20, 30, 40 balloons up. Hey, you recognize this balloon?
Absolutely. That's Tamo, pink Tamo, and that would be Tammy.
And there she is in her pink shirt there.
Pink shirt,
off to the side. Yeah, have Tammy wave. There she is.
Yeah.
So, so Tammy's been flying most of the week here as well. She has not only Tamo, but Tiamo, which is the big special shaped heart balloon.
Right, yeah, with the hands that make the heart in front of the heart, I think.
Yes. They were going to try and stand that balloon up last Saturday night and send us some video, but like seems to be happening on the first Saturday night of Balloon Fiesta for some reason. It's just been a little breezy, so that did not happen for us Saturday night, but she's got her Tamo balloon, the pink camouflage out there. This also, again, grass, so it is Balloon Fiesta Park.
Balloon Fiesta Park, yeah. Now, did I see a pink Tamo or camo cap in our merchandise earlier this week?
You actually did. You actually did. Those are new caps for this year. And so there are two camos. There is your typical green camo cap, and there is your pink camo cap. There they are right there, brand new this year.
And is Tammy getting a cut on this? Is this a licensed Tamo thing?
I'm looking at Lisa, and she's saying no. Oh, we'll sell Tammy one.
We'll sell Tammy. Yeah, she needs to get one for her entire crew. Absolutely.
Hey, great segue there, and thanks for setting that up, because I did want to go back and mention that we do have a whole collection of merchandise available. Even though you can't get on the field, you can't get to our physical gift shop, we have this great collection of merchandise there. And that T-shirt you see moving in the back of the picture, that's Lisa Mulder. She's our merchandise manager. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning.
Lisa is our Vanna White. Now, would you go turn a letter, please? Turn a shirt.
Actually, I want to talk about the new item that we just revealed 1 hour ago. And so what is it, Lisa? Tell us about it.
We did a special limited edition of 200 in a silver Balloon Fiesta Siesta pin.
And are there any left now that we're talking about them?
You know, I'm actually checking inventory right now, so ask Lisa a question.
Okay. So, Lisa, the first one was gold, and it went out in just a couple of hours, I understand. This one is silver, and any other special things going to be coming down the pike, maybe, that we can tease about?
Well, of course there is. I mean,
stay tuned.
Glen, if you know me, you know there's something else coming out. So we're hoping to reveal it here on Balloon Fiesta Live as well. We just got to make sure we get the inventory in.
Okay, well, and I do know you. I've had the pleasure of working with you a number of years now, and so I wasn't surprised by that. And I know we don't want to give too much away, but basically just stay tuned, because there'll be some other great special items coming as we continue with Balloon Fiesta Live this week.
There are about 20 of those pins left, by the way, in stock.
Okay, about 20, thanks. So, Lisa, how difficult is it managing inventory and managing sales during Balloon Fiesta when we have the huge crowds out there and in the 2 official souvenir tents?
It's actually pretty easy to do with the great team that I have in place. I'm not going to lie. I mean, it's, you know, almost a 24/7 position, but it's fun. It's great to see my merchandise walking around on the field and people getting excited, and the kids when they get a brand new pin. It's definitely worth it.
So lots of great stuff, and you can get it at balloonfiestastuff.com, balloonfiestastuff.com. If you go to balloonfiesta.com, you can just click on the link there as well. I also want to talk just a little bit about that poster in front of you. That's the metal print right there. Tell us about that.
So this is the third year for the poster with artist Daniel Killen. As you can see, we have the Warner Brothers characters with Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner. We brought that back from the first couple of years of Balloon Fiesta, and we're bringing it full circle up to our 50th. This was the third for the 49th, and since we have 49 again next year, we will have another one next year and a fifth at the 50th. But you can see on this one, our poor little Roadrunner is flying off behind Wiley, and Wiley's decided he's going to try to take a little dip in the Rio Grande there, and it doesn't go so well for him.
So Lisa, this is the third in a series of what will be 5. For people who perhaps are just now, for whatever reason, discovering Balloon Fiesta, or maybe didn't realize it was going to be a series, do we have inventory of numbers 1 and 2? Can you go back now retroactively and start getting the entire series so that you can collect the entire series through up to the 50th year?
We do have more inventory stock of the 2018, 2019, and now the 2020 of both the unsigned and signed poster versions. The photo that we just showed you here is a metal print. It's printed on aluminum. That one has sold out every year. So if they want to go back collectors-wise, they'll have to get the full-size serigraph print.
Okay, and I was asking for a friend because, well, you know how that goes. I kind of forgot, so I need to go back. Art, I'm going to go do some more shopping. Sorry.
Lots of people are doing that, and it is really great to see the support and the comments that we're getting as those of you who are placing order. Well, we see the comments as well, how you're missing Fiesta. We are too. We're glad that we can bring it to you in some small way here through Balloon Fiesta Live and through all of the souvenir merchandise as well. Again, we're continuing to get live pictures from Balloon Fiesta Park, a number of balloons, or a few balloons that are out there on the field, and I'm not sure if we still have pictures of the guys flying on the west side. So balloonists we're not organized, but we are scattered around the city. There was a pop-up glow last night at one of the local hospitals. That's the kind of ballooning activity that is going on. Ted's coming in right on the ground there. That's kind of like the new launch site. We've been launching just a little bit east of that, and it's kind of, they're building around us, and so we're starting to have to move to a new launch site for those of us local here. But so we continue to get these great pictures. And by the way, balloonists, if you are watching us now and you have taken pictures or video flying Lifting Spirits this last weekend or this week or something, we'd love to have those pictures. If you just upload them to bit.ly, so bit.ly/BFLivePhotos, and you can get in touch with us and we'll give that to you. We are rolling those photos as a pre-show. So we start our stream about 15 minutes before the show goes live, and we're showing all of those pictures before we come on the air live with Balloon Fiesta Live.
Yeah, and we've seen pictures from literally all around the world, and particularly all across the United States. We had friends in New Zealand uploading some video, friends in Texas that we saw. Our Dawn Patrol team leader, Scott Vesley, shared some great pictures. They were out doing a Lifting Spirits Worldwide flight in Texas over the weekend, and they sent us some great shots. And so pictures, still pictures, or video, you can use that bit.ly link at bit.ly/BF Live Photos and send us your pictures and video, and we'll build it into our pre-roll or perhaps even showcase it during one of our live broadcasts.
Looks like Tammy is getting Tamo
like she's
off.
About to get airborne.
Yep, she's hot, she's buoyant, and there they go.
I'm going to tell Mike you called his wife, said she's hot, so I'm sure he'll appreciate it.
He'll be after me. She's got the balloon hot.
There you go.
And there they go, yeah. So a couple of others already in the sky. There's a great shot of the balloon taking off from Balloon Fiesta Field. Actually, Tammy is also the editor of the Quick Release, which is kind of a quick little newsletter from the Balloon Federation of America.
That's our electronic newsletter that Tammy has been putting together for quite a while now for us.
She has been kind enough to publish a number of kind of little articles for me, kind of announcement type articles in the Quick Release, and always good to have conversations with her. So looking good. Hey, you know, there is another perspective of Balloon Fiesta that we'd like to share with you, and that is footage from a drone. And the idea 2 years ago, we let the first drone fly during Balloon Fiesta. Balloon Fiesta has a temporary flight restriction, or a TFR, around for 4 miles around the field.
Right.
And if you are an aircraft not registered with Balloon Fiesta, you cannot be within 4 miles of the field. Drones are aircraft, unmanned aircraft, but they are aircraft, and so they can't fly within the 4 miles of Balloon Fiesta Park either. However, we did register one drone through Calibre Media House, and we let them fly 2 years ago and provide footage to us at Balloon Fiesta Live. And you'll see some of that incorporated in our video throughout our week broadcast here. They were back last year to take some footage as well, and they have put together an entire series. They're releasing one a day called Balloon Fiesta 5s. And so what I'd like to do, it's all drone footage. It's just like 5 minutes of drone footage. I'd like to share one of those with you now.
video.
So just
from,
one of the, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's a spectacular video from our drone team, and some really spectacular views you don't get anywhere else. I love that shot there toward the end of the aerial shot of the Allburns in the glows, because it's kind of how I imagined it would always be if you could be up on the peak at Sandia and looking down on Balloon Fiesta Field from high up above. It's kind of the view that you would see there. But I think we want to emphasize, Art, as you said earlier, for anyone who suddenly says, oh, wow, I've got a drone. I'm going to go out next year and fly my drone and get all this great video. There is a flight restricted area there, and that drone was licensed by Balloon Fiesta to be in our airspace. So other drone owners, you can't just take your drone out there and fly. In fact, we used a software system that allowed us to identify any other drones that might have been flying in the airspace and get them taken out of the air, because it's illegal when we have our TFR in place out there. But man, some spectacular video. Wonderful views we get from that drone.
And you can see more of those at balloonfiesta5s.com. Again, Calibra Media House providing those. They're releasing a new episode every day, and working with us at Balloon Fiesta to be able to put those out there. Balloonfiesta5s.com is where those are, and of course, we're at balloonfiesta.com. Speaking of balloonfiesta.com, and we've been talking about the new pin and all the pins all morning here as well, and how things become collectibles. Balloon Fiesta has started putting together a spot on the website called Collector's Corner. And so if you're ever wanting to see what's going on that particular page, there's really 4 sections to that as we scroll down. All of the programs, all the way back from 1972 through 2019, there is no 2020 program, don't look for it. Most of the pins that we have produced, and some pins that were unofficial pins, show up on the pin section there. We have some of the posters. We haven't finished putting all the posters up online yet, and we have all of the bumper stickers online as well. We've also been able to put up all of the calendars. Now, they didn't start till about 1976, but you can go back and look at all of the calendars and the pictures and how that has changed over the years. And a good friend of ours has put together about the coins. Gary, I can't remember Gary's last name. I can almost read it on the website there. Gary has put together, we used to do coins, and Gary Henderson, thank you, Steve.
Gary Henderson.
Yeah, I can see it now in my earpiece here. So Gary has put together kind of a definitive document looking at the coins and how many of them were there and some value of those types of things. So Collector's Corner, if you just go to balloonfiesta.com, click on the Collector's Corner, you can check out all of those with great pictures about all of that great stuff. And if you find something that you think we're missing, there's a way to get in touch with us as well.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I was just going to ask, if you go back long before the day of cell phones, and yes, I'm that old, I have, and I don't know if I'm sure you'll remember these, Art. Remember when we did the series of phone cards? You used to have it was like a plastic credit card.
Oh, yes.
That you could use to make long distance. Well, we had those, and then we had them in a limited edition that included, each one came in a little velvet box, and each one was a picture of like a mass ascension, a dawn patrol, all of the various events that we had going on at that time. And on each, not only do I have the full set in the velveteen boxes, but on each of the cards, there was typically there was a prominent balloon in each photograph, and I have the matching pin to the balloon that's prominent on that card, and in some cases had the pilot autograph it. So
wow,
that's my kind of unique and unusual Balloon Fiesta collectible that I still have a set of.
Well, that's kind of what happens is we'll get a product in, or we'll do something, and maybe we only do it for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And so it becomes even more collectible, like those phone cards. Yeah, so it is interesting to see how some of the merchandise, even the fact how the calendar has changed over the years, that's been kind of an interesting project. And all those programs, being able to go back and see the pictures of what balloons were here when and who was flying it when, and all the great articles. In fact, on the program page, there is an index, a link to an index, so you can search that index to see what year did we talk about, say, where have the fields been over the past years, or what were the flags or the jacket colors, or what's competition about? I mean, one of the competitions was a tumbleweed drop, if you remember.
That's right. We've dropped tumbleweeds, beach balls, Kodak film boxes, keys down a chimney. There's been all kinds of crazy things falling out of balloons out at Balloon Fiesta. The other collectible thing, what's interesting too, is that some items start out unofficial and then become official. And I'm mentioning, of course, our official announcer pins that we've been doing for a number of years now working with Lisa. But those started out as a collectible that I did for myself, my very own individual announcer pins. And as my tenure at Balloon Fiesta began to get a little long in the tooth, perhaps, we ended up making them official pins. And so we do have official announcer pins, but you could go back earlier in the day and they were unofficial, but they're still out there.
They are out there, and people have picked those up, and we are not releasing the announcer pins, at least not today, but Balloon Fiesta Live pins are available on balloonfiestastuff.com. The 2020 pins are out there in plentiful supply. The 2019 pins are there in limited supply, just what we have left over from last year. They're on sale this week as well, just for $5. So they're talking to me here in the air, so in my ear.
Okay.
So, trying to make sure we know where we're going next. So I was just going to look and see if we had any of those silver pins left on the store. Looks like we're down to a dozen.
Wow.
So if we can, yeah, there's that silver pin released just an hour and 20 minutes ago. Limited edition of 20 of them, 200 of them. There are 12 left. Got too many twos in there. And so they are available. They're going to be sold out by the time the show is over here. All the rest of the stuff here is available. Can you just pan down and show us that Fiesta patch below us?
I was just about to go the same place. Say, pan out, zoom out and pan down a little bit and show us that great big 9-inch. I think that's a 9-inch patch. Is that right?
Yes, sir,
Art?
It is. Yeah, and it's got the Roadrunner and Coyote on it.
There you go. Yeah, it's the Looney Tunes characters that I wanted to see that are on it.
Marvin's there. Yep. So, Lisa, are you still mic'd up? No, she's. So just yell at me. How long did it take us to get the rights to do that?
It's been 2 years.
2 years of working with the folks that own the rights to that to be able to get the rights to be able to put that on our merchandise.
Wow.
So it's one of those things that you asked Lisa earlier about, how does this stuff come about and the time on that. We talk about lead time. 2 years just working on the rights to be able to do this.
Well, and so a lot of that goes back to the very earliest days of Balloon Fiesta, because in the sport of ballooning, we have a competition task we call a hare and hounds. But in New Mexico, it's usually referred to as the Coyote and Roadrunner task. And if you go back, another collectible that I've got are a few of the years on the chase crew flags that we did. We had Lisa help me with the artist who created those characters and does them, has a studio out there in Albuquerque.
Chuck,
and
you're talking about Chuck Jones?
Chuck Jones, yes. And some of the Fiesta chase crew flags for a few years celebrated that with illustrations of Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner on the chase crew flags. And I have a set of those too.
Actually, we featured the Roadrunner Coyote balloon, which was here in 1973. It's on the front cover of the calendar this year. And so,
right.
I mean, the very first posters were the Roadrunner and the Coyote. They put those together, and my guess is
on that.
Yeah, right there.
Where is he? I'm trying to get
it. Yeah,
in my camera.
There you
go.
There,
yeah.
Yep, it's right there. And so the very first posters, and the best guess that I can come up with is that there were only like 24 posters made the very first year. The idea was to give them to the pilots that were coming here. There were 21 scheduled to be here, and then there's a couple others. There's a cleaner shot of the Fiesta calendar for this year. But there were only 24 of those, and probably most of those are gone. And then in '73, they put Wiley on the balloon, and that's a picture from 1973. And while we're on the calendar, we should go ahead and mention that all of the full screen pictures, so the cover, the inside cover, a full side picture on every one of those, they all have a video attached to them. So you just download this little free app for your phone, your iPad, your Android device, and you open up that app and you scan the cover or the picture, and a video comes to life. So you get 40 minutes of video with that calendar. The calendars are on sale for $5 right now, or buy a case for $100. 25 calendars, you get them for $4. It's buying the entire case, case lot special that way, and so you can pass them out as Christmas gifts. Not only are you giving them the calendar, but you're giving them 40 minutes of video as well. And there you see some of the other great stuff that's there. We even got those great totes for carrying all your merchandise around or packaging it in there. And can you go ahead and pan and zoom out? I want to show you, you kind of see the blanket that we're using kind of as a table drop. This picture from Victor Banta is also on the puzzle that you saw up there. This is probably one of our favorite pictures from last year. All these balloons doing splash and dashes in the Rio Grande. Victor Banta took that for us, and we're featuring it not only on the puzzle, but on this nice Sherpa blanket as well. All of this, again, for sale at balloonfiestastuff.com. And if you are watching Balloon Fiesta Live, which obviously you are, thank you very much, we have a special coupon code for you. It is BF Live, and that will get you a discount on most of the merchandise in your cart. Doesn't count towards the Siesta merchandise, doesn't count for things that are on sale like the calendar, but a lot of other things will get discounted if you use that BF Live code. And then be sure and check out the Merchandise Monday tab, because there's something different there at 6 o'clock Mountain Time every single morning. We've had a fleece on there. We've had a cap on there. Today, it's a Time Flies ornament. And I don't even remember what the rest of the week is because I set them up last week, but we've got something different. It changes out every morning at 6 o'clock Mountain Time. There's that Time Flies ornament that is on Merchandise Monday and on sale today. Definitely a collector's item. That was the logo that was going to be on all the jackets and shirts and things like that. That did not get produced, but the ornament did.
I was going to say, you sent me rummaging as we were talking about all this merchandise. I was rummaging through a pile of stuff here on my desk because somewhere I have a button that dates back to the early 1975-ish period, I think. That's about, if I can do this, about yay big around. And it was the Coyote Roadrunner Balloon Fiesta. It's red, white, and blue. And I thought I had it sitting here on my desk. I probably do, but it's under a pile of stuff. But I'll find it and maybe share it in a later broadcast. But that's another little unique piece of Balloon Fiesta stuff that I've accommodated or accumulated, I should say, over the 31 years now that I've been associated with the event.
So that pin is probably from the late 70s, if I remember right, because that, I mean, it was there with 1972 when we were out at Coronado to get started. Then 73 was the first World Balloon Hot Air Balloon Championships, and there was some involvement with that. Then we had another Fiesta in 74. The World Championships came back for number 2 in 1975. 1976 is actually when the organization AIBF, or the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, was actually incorporated. Up until that point, this Balloon Fiesta thing had been put on by Sid Cutter himself and his company, World Balloon Championships, later became World Balloon Corporation.
Well, I think you and I have discussed it before and narrowed it down to a year, but I'll try to find it and we can share it on one of our future broadcasts this week.
So last call on those silver pins. There's now less than a dozen of those silver pins left. They are at balloonfiestastuff.com. There were only 200 available. There are now less than a dozen available. So if you're going to pick up one of those silver pins, there it is. Now's the time to get on balloonfiestastuff.com. Get it in your cart. Get it ordered. And remember, it is only one per person. One per person. If we find duplicate orders, unfortunately, we're going to cancel the second one out on you. You'll get the first one, but we're going to cancel out the second one. So even if it shows sold out as we cancel some of those, you might want to be able to check in there and see what's happening along those lines. But Glenn, that's a wrap for today, this Monday Competition Day.
We'll be back tomorrow with more competition and another edition of Balloon Fiesta Live, sponsored by XTO. Thanks, Art.
You bet, Glenn. This is the Siesta Edition. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow, 7 a.m. Mountain.
So long.
You've been watching Balloon Fiesta Live, Siesta Edition, powered by XTO Energy, a subsidiary of ExxonMobil. Always in October and always in Albuquerque, the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta is the world's premier ballooning event. Make plans now to join us in person in 2021 for the 49th version of Balloon Fiesta. Thanks for watching Balloon Fiesta Live. This program is a production of AIBF Inc.
Okay, thanks.